Hey, how's it going everybody? It is Murky, and today I want to bring you guys a video because I'm running into quite a few players who are level 1 to 20 that aren't familiar with the game. And it surprises me still because this game blew up so much that I figured everybody knew it. But there's a couple things that I want to kind of go over, and I guess we'll go from the beginning here. This is gonna be an in-depth tutorial on maps and how to hunt ghosts properly. So I am level 1068. I could be a lot higher, but I do mess around a lot. This is your main screen, right? You have your daily challenges you can do, which is find a bone, play contracts, and take a photo of the ghosts. Pretty easy. Training, if you do click training, it goes right into a level. So if you do need more training, I do recommend going into that more. Item stores where you could buy all your stuff if you want to, and options obviously. Now right off the bat, I do want to say that audio, you're going to want to change whatever your microphone is. So for example, mine is through voice mod. You're going to want to put whatever your sound settings are. Let me open this up real quick. So whatever your sound settings are here for your mic that you have default needs to be the same as this. As you can see, the voice mod is set as default. It has to be the same. And the way that you test to make sure this is working is you do the test and you say, give us a sign. And it heard us. You hit apply for that. You have your PC settings in here. You have other as well for languages, degrees. I like to keep it on Celsius, even though I live in the United States and we're Fahrenheit. Celsius is just kind of easier to figure out where the ghost is, and I'll explain this a little bit more in the game. Then you have your controls. Now something I do is I bind W for forward movement to run as well, so you don't have to continuously press the shift key all the time. The only problem with this is if you want to go backwards and like look at the ghost while you're running away from it, you don't have the sprint option. So you're going to just be walking with the ghost will catch you. That's the only thing you need to remember. So let's head in. So this is your private lobby here, and you can obviously join random lobbies if you want. This here is going to be your invite code. It comes blocked automatically. So if you're streaming or anything, and not just anybody can join, you're going to add. Now this is the beta version, and I can show you guys how the only difference really between, well, there's actually a lot of differences, so I'm not going to say that, but I do recommend playing on the beta version. I quite like it a lot more. For example, you know, with all these, you can just hit all and it just puts in whatever's, you know, the max amount. We don't really need to since it's just me, but I'm going to anyways. Down at the bottom left, you're going to have your change character. And then down here is a selected job. This is the contract you're going to select. The thing I do like about this is you do have the professional, you have the difficulty selector in beta. I don't think you have this in non-beta version, so this is another reason to go to beta. All right, so we're going to be going to Ridgeview Roadhouse for our contract, and I'd like to explain the differences between amateur, intermediate, and professional. For amateur setting, you have 5 minutes to get ready and set up everything you need to detect a ghost. Where intermediate, you only have 2 minutes to get ready, and professional, you don't have any time to get ready at all. It'll start hunting almost immediately, or it could start hunting almost immediately as soon as you enter the building. So the difficulty that we're going to pick is going to be intermediate, and the reason I'm going to pick this is I want to explain to you the differences in using the thermometer between professional, intermediate, and amateur. Amateur and intermediate are going to give you the same results for the thermometer comparative to professional, and I'll explain more about the professional in my next video. So when you spawn into the truck, you're going to notice that there's a lot of items everywhere, and it's going to be kind of confusing on what to take and what not to take, but I'm going to explain that all here. So we're going to start with the whiteboard, and on here you'll see it says optional objectives. Objective 1 is discover what type of ghost you're dealing with. Now I don't think this is really optional. I think this is the whole point of the game, but that's kind of just me. And objective number 2 is have a member of your team witness a ghost event. Number 3 is capture a photo of the ghost, and number 4 is get a ghost to walk through salt. Down below, you'll see also that the name of the ghost is Mark Smith, and it only responds to people who are alone. Now, take note that when you're on professional, you're not going to know whether the ghost responds to you alone or if it'll respond to everybody in a group. Now, the 4 monitors on the right side of the whiteboard, you're going to see 4 different screens. One is going to be the layout of the house, your sound sensors, your team sanity and the average sanity, as well as the total activity of the ghost inside. Now, there's really only 2 of these that you need to be paying close attention to, and that's going to be your team sanity and the total activity. For your house layout, on the left side, you'll see a little button, And if you click it, it'll scroll through the different layers of the house. So you have the main floor, the upstairs, and the downstairs. The second screen is going to be your sound sensors. I really don't recommend ever using sound sensors because they're kind of useless and they provide no information really. Your team sanity you're going to want to watch out for as well, because if there's multiple people in here, it's going to take the average of your team sanity, and that's how it's going to decide whether or not it's going to hunt during a certain situation. Being it's only us, whatever our sanity is at is going to be the average sanity. Total activity, time in seconds, is going to be how long the ghost is going to be active for and if the ghost is active in general. So if somebody's sitting in the truck and there's people inside a large area like the prison and you start seeing the activity go up, you can let them know, hey, the activity's up. Listen for any sounds that the ghost is making, opening doors, dropping items. Now next to those sensors, you'll see 4 cameras and a fingerprint. This is nothing, it's just a photo. But the cameras are something you're going to want to wear if you have multiple people. If there's just one person and it's you really don't need to wear them. Next to the cameras is going to be your button to be able to open up the back door and also close it to leave. Turning around, we'll start at the top left and we'll head through all the way down to the bottom right. On the top left, you're going to see some pill bottles. These are your sanity pills. So taking these pills are going to increase your sanity. Next to the sanity is going to be your thermometer. Then you have your glow sticks, which are kind of nice. These basically are for if you have salt on the ground, you can place these next to the salt and see if there's any footprints when the ghost walks through it. You then have your spirit box, which is one of the evidences that you can use to figure out what ghosts you have. On the shelf next to it, you're going to see 3 different style boxes. The first set is going to be your motion sensors, and then your sound sensors, and then your infrared sensors. Your sound sensors and infrared sensors you really don't need at all. There's no objectives that require you to use them. The only ones that you're going to require is going to be motion sensors. Back to the first shelf, second level, you're going to see cameras. And these are picture cameras. This is what you're going to take evidence of fingerprints, ghost writing, pictures of the ghost, and interactions. Then you're going to have your parabolic meter. A parabolic meter is basically a sound sensor that you walk around with, and when you're putting in a direction that the ghost makes a sound, so somewhere in asylum or prison, it's going to pick up that sound and tell you on its little heads-up display where the sound is coming from in decibels, so like 8, 7, 5. I don't really recommend using the parabolic meter. I don't really find it necessary, and it just takes a little bit too long to try to understand it. It's really not needed in trying to figure out where the ghost is. Next to the parabolic meter, you're going to have your smudge sticks, and smudging is going to be one of the secondary objectives that you could have. You won't always have it, but it's always good to bring them anyways. Below is going to be your EMF reader, and then your crucifix. Crucifixes will, it place in a specific area where the ghost is, will keep the ghost from hunting. Now take note that crucifixes only have an operational area of between 2 and 5 meters. So if it's outside of that range, it may still hunt even though you have a crucifix in the room. Now back to the second shelf, second level, you're going to see black cameras, and those cameras are going to be video cameras and not picture cameras. The video cameras are going to go on the tripods. You don't have to place them on the tripod, but I do recommend placing them on a tripod. It makes it a lot easier to place in the corner of a room. And to place them on a tripod, you're going to select E to pick them up, look at the tripod, and hit F. And F is going to place them on the tripod. Now, something to remember is when they're on the tripod or placed on a desk, you will see a little red light. If that light is red, the camera is not operational. But if you left click, the light will turn on green. That means the camera is on. Next to the cameras, you're going to see longer flashlights. These flashlights are weak flashlights. If you're able to buy the strong flashlights, I do not recommend using the weak flashlights because they're not going to be as bright and it's going to be harder to see anything. Next to the weak flashlights, or regular flashlights, you're going to see 2 smaller looking flashlights. These flashlights are UV lights. UV lights are good for finding fingerprints, so make sure to always bring a UV light. Back to the first shelf, bottom row, you're going to see candles. Candles are useful because if you light them and you put them in a room and the ghost blows them out or pushes them over, it can act as a ghost event. And being that one of the objectives is to have a member of the team witness a ghost event, and if, say, we don't get a whisper or it doesn't show up or anything happens, this is a good way to find or to achieve a ghost event. Placing the candles is the same thing as placing the cameras. You select E on it, you can see a shadow of it on the ground or a silhouette, and you press F. Next to the candles, you're going to find salts. Salts only have 3 usages, so make sure to place them in very specific areas. Next to the salt, you're going to find a lighter. Lighters are used for not only lighting the candles, but also lighting the smudge sticks. As you can see, when you light the smudge stick, you can walk around the area and smudge everywhere. You don't have to just place it on the ground. When the area has been smudged and the stick is used, the stick will turn gray. Back to the second shelf, third level, you're going to see these flashlights that have the red circles on the front and the back. These are the strong flashlights. These are the flashlights that you're going to want to take in with you because they're going to provide a lot more light than the regular flashlights. Something to note about all flashlights, whether it's the regular flashlight or the strong flashlight, is when you change your main hand to your secondary hand, the flashlight does stay on. Unless you're in the non-beta. You will have to click T to turn your flashlight on when it's on your shoulder. Next to the strong flashlights, you will see 2 books. These are ghostwriting books. These are what you're going to want to use to try to find evidence of the ghost. Again, same as the candles and the flashlights, looking at an area and selecting F or pressing F is going to place the book. Pressing G will just drop the book down as well, and it does, you can press G or F if you'd like. The only difference is if you press G, it can cause the book to flip over. So pressing F is the way that I would recommend doing it. Now on the main desk where the computer is, you're going to find the key to go inside the house. And also, you're going to find the computer. And one thing you'll notice is above the computer, above the monitor, you'll see the 2 minutes. That means you have 2 minutes to get everything ready before the ghost can start hunting. On amateur, you'll have 5 minutes. And on professional, you'll have 0 minutes. The keyboard, if you press the keyboard, anywhere on the keyboard, it'll turn on the infrared lights or off the infrared lights. Clicking on the mouse will change the camera. Alright everyone, I just want to give a quick update here. During the last recording, my computer actually crashed and I had to restart, so the ghost name as well as some of the secondary objectives are not going to be the same. It looks like actually motion sensor and salt is the same. I can't remember if the motion sensor was the same or not, but I know we had salt. Anyways, we're going to go in and find try to find George Moore and see if we can't get a ghost. So the first thing I'm going to bring in, obviously we want to grab the strong flashlights, hit T to turn it on. I grab a spirit box and I do grab a EMF reader. And that's just a force of habit of grabbing the headlamps. Alright, I do recommend when you first come inside to stay quiet and see if you can't hear any doors open or items fall. And there it is. It's going to be in the living room, or the dining area. So since we know it's in here, we're going to go ahead and drop the EMF reader down. You can grab your spirit box and ask it a few questions. The questions can range from where are you, how old are you, what are you old, are you evil, etc. Are you here? And we got an answer in the spirit box. So what I recommend doing is when you do get an answer or find a piece of evidence, immediately hit J and put it in your evidence page. That way you don't forget it. Now let's head out and grab more items. Now since we know that it turned on the light switch, I am going to grab a UV light as well as a book, and there could be fingerprints on the light switch. So as we come in, we're going to look at the light switch that it touched, and there it is, fingerprints on the light switch. Something we would like to do as well is make sure that to look at the windows as well to see if any handprints will be on the windows. Now we have the book, and we can place the book down. We may not actually have ghostwriting, so let's open up our journal again and put in fingerprints. And this is really nice. So evidence 3, if you go through each one of these evidences and try to select the ghost type, you could tell that EMF 5 won't have a ghost. But if we go to ghost orb, it could be a poltergeist, ghost writing, could be a spirit, or freezing temperatures, could be a wraith. I don't see my breath because I'm walking backwards, so something I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the ghost to write in the book. Can you please write in the book? You don't have to say please, but I'm a nice person. Can you write in the book? Please write in the book. We're going to leave that there, and we're going to head out and grab a video camera to see if there's any ghost orbs. So for the video cameras, again, press F on the tripod, turn the camera on. I'm also going to grab a crucifix just to put in there to keep it from hunting, or at least hopefully keep it from hunting. Now with cameras, I want as much room as I possibly can between me and where the ghost is, or the orbs might be, to get as much area covered as possible. I'm going to go ahead and place the crucifix down, I think right on the table there. And it sounds like it's this whole area. Can you please write in the book? I'm going to move the location of the book. And this is a good idea to do to try to get more coverage of the book. Because sometimes if you leave it in just one place, it won't write in the book. Now what we do is we head back. We got our EMF sensor completed. We're going to look for ghost orbs. And I'm not seeing any ghost orbs in this area. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not ghost orbs. It could actually be just behind this section of wall, or it could be on this section below. And since we did hear the microwave go off, it could be in this section over here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and select another camera. We'll take a picture camera with us as well. Actually, yeah. We'll take a picture camera just in case the ghost shows up. If the ghost does show up, you can get a photo of it for more money. So I'll put it right there on the table, and it should give us enough room to see all this location here. We'll put the camera down, and we'll go get more items. So we'll take a look here, see if there's any ghost orbs, and I think, yep, right there. So we have a ghost orb floating around, and I saw it over here as well. And that's what I was saying. With this other camera, we can't see this side of the room. So having another camera in there, we can see, and we have ghost orbs. So when we put in ghost orb, we can see it's a poltergeist. Now what we do is we need a motion sensor and salt. So we're going to go ahead and take a motion sensor and take some salt with us. And we'll place the motion sensor down, I think next to the refrigerator would be good. And we'll go ahead and place the salt down around the counter. All right, let's go get another crucifix. More crucifixes, the better. And we will try to get a photo of the ghost. And as you can see here, we got its walkthrough salt, motion sensor, and EMF reader. So all of our secondaries except for objective number 1, which technically we got all of our evidences, but that won't actually tell us until we leave the map. Wow, it is throwing stuff all over the place. Okay, I do want to show you the thermometer here really fast and show you what the difference is. I use it on Celsius because I think it does a lot better on Celsius. Did it turn off the light? I think it turned off the lights. Okay, the power is off. So as you can see, it's going to be cold everywhere. And the reason that is because the power is off. You got to remember this is beta version and this is not in the alpha or the normal version, the non-beta. So what we need to do is we need to find the power, and I'm going to guess it's in the basement. You can see the power in the truck. All right, power is on, and it might take a minute for the temperatures to start rising, but the temperature will rise, and you'll notice only in the area where the ghost is will it be cold. Anything under 2.9 degrees usually is freezing temperatures, and anything under 30, I think 433 is freezing temperatures on Fahrenheit. It is just turning lights on, so we should be able to get a ghost event here. And a ghost event is a whisper showing up, stuff like that. What I do want to do is show you some words that can cause it to, or at least let you know some words that can cause it to show up or try to hunt. So anything saying that you're scared or are you scared, the words scared and afraid are two trigger words to provoke the ghost. Also saying its name can be a trigger word as well. I can actually see there's a ghost, or there's a handprint over here. Something I did forget to say is take pictures of the fingerprints and handprints. The more photos you have, the more money you'll get. And you'll see here in the journal, we got fingerprints. You can't take photos of the same fingerprints multiple times. Do you remember that? And if we look at the window, wow, it doesn't. That's surprising. There's one here. Take a photo of that. There's one there. And we'll go ahead and save this last one for if it shows up. Now we do have 2 more cameras, so that's good. Don't be afraid to take photos of anything. And I just heard another door open. Was that the same one? It does look like it was the same one. I do like to keep watch of the crucifixes, because if one of them disappears, you either want to move the other one in that location, or you want to get out of there. All right, something also that you could check is your sanity level. Anything that's going to be above 50% usually, it's not going to hunt. Normally it could. The likelihood is not very common, but it can hunt. And we're at 62. We're going to bring another camera in there. We're going to look at its name, George Moore. Also, some other things you can do to provoke the ghost to either hunt or to try to scare you is cussing at it. There are a list of words, and I'll leave them in the description below to the wiki that says all the words that you can use. But there is a list of words that you can say to it that could provoke the ghost as well. George Moore, are you scared? Are you afraid? George Moore. Since it's not really giving us a... Oh, there he is. There he is. Not a happy friend. Not a happy friend. And there we go. We got a picture of it. Now, as we'll see here, we got lots of fingerprints, and we have a ghost picture as well. So, taking multiple ghost photos, the ghost will actually be grayed out a little bit. You do get money, but you don't get as much money for those photos as you do for the original. Now we got most of everything we can for evidence, as well as all three of our objectives and our secondary objectives. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and leave. Now, as you see here, objective 1, 2, 3, and 4 are complete. We did get money for those objectives, as well as $25 worth of photos. We did not find the bone. I did not look for it. I completely forgot about the bone, and that's my fault. Every place that you go to on any difficulty will have a bone. So you just have to look for the bone. Insurance 10. I'm not 100% sure what the insurance is for and why I got insurance money. Usually that's for when somebody dies and you take a photo of them, so I'm not 100% sure on that. Difficulty multiplier was 100 difficulty times for multiplayer. So you got $140 for it being on intermediate. The higher the difficulty, the more money and the more experience you'll get. We'll see here as well. We made level 110 with 127 experience gained. You'll notice a big increase between the videos of where my level is now and where it was, and that's because computer crash, it froze, and then I ended up playing a few games with some friends and back to make this video. So, and that is how you ghost hunt on amateur and intermediate, and you can do this on any contract that you want, whether it's Asylum to any of the farmhouses. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please go ahead and hit that like button for me, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. There'll be another video coming out about soloing professional Asylum and soloing a professional prison as well. So if you guys want to see those, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below. I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope you guys found it helpful. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.